An interview has surfaced of Ant-Man said he wants to face the Warriors in the playoffs. Ant, I want to go get the Warriors. Wherever they're at, I want to get them. Reporter, why the Warriors? Ant, because Draymond talks so much trash, and that's pretty much the only reason.
See, man, that's
Hey,
see what it means?
Joe, what you expected? Huh?
That's what I'm talking about, man. We need more of that. Everybody likes to just play the game of basketball, but when you bring that entertainment value like that, that makes you want and hope that the Warriors and the Wolves have a series, it's because of somebody like that can talk it and they can walk it. It just makes it that much better. That's why I say I would love for him to be the face of the league. No disrespect to Jason Tatum, great player, NBA champion, NBA champion, All-Star, Olympic team. He has all these accolades, but it just doesn't add up to that aura and it factor that Ant has. Like that's man.
Listen,
Buddy Raw, man.
Hey, for the story, Unc and Ocho, this one here gonna go down in the books. See, the one team that was at home tonight cheering was the Timberwolves. They were cheering for the Warriors for a number of reasons. They play the Warriors, they get home court advantage. See, the Warriors come to them. But if the Rockets would have won, they would have had to go to Houston. You see what I'm saying? So Timberwolves got home court advantage. They know and understand, the moment and what it presents. And like I say, Ant-Man got this hit list. He finna add. He got a couple more people. He finna add to this list.
You finna add to it.
Add to it.
When they series start, Joe?
It don't probably Tuesday. So look, think about this, Unc and Ocho. That series gonna start Tuesday. You just coming off a 7-game grueling series against the Rockets. Probably gonna wear you down a little bit. The Timberwolves been at home, kind of resting. They got their feet up a little bit, but they gonna be ready. They probably gonna look a step or two faster than the Warriors on game 1.
Yeah.
Now watch Rudy Gobert go out there and forget how to play basketball. Draymond take him completely out of the game.
No, this finna be WrestleMania. We was just talking to Bianca. We were just talking to Bianca, about a week or two ago? Yeah. Oh, man, this finna be WrestleMania. This must-see TV. Rudy Gobert and Draymond Green. Oh, yeah, y'all already know how this thing gonna go down. Yeah.
In a span of 12 months, the Wolves have sent home Kevin Durant, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James. Ant-Man is looking to add Steph Curry to his list. Let me ask you a question. How many games? Who wins and in how many games? Ocho, I'm going to start with you. Who wins and how many games?
Oh, man, this is a good one. Listen, with Anthony Edwards playing the way he's playing, Rudy Gobert, if he can have another game, maybe not 27 again, but he contribute on both ends of the court, giving them second chance points, rebounding defensively. Everyone else contributing as well. I say it's going to be another 7-game series, and I got Ant-Man pulling it off, adding another one to the hit list.
What you got, Joe?
I don't got no 7-game series. I got this. I got the T-Wolves winning this in about 5 or 6 games.
Damn, 5, 6?
Yeah, what's wrong?
Yeah. I only said the 7 because Steph and Draymond and them boys are used to playing in this type of atmosphere. So I'm saying they're gonna stretch it all the way to 7. But if you say 5 or 6, you know better than me because you played. I just be in the YMCA.
This is just my opinion, Ocho. I don't know it to be true. Now allow me the right to be wrong. All right.
Right.
But when I'm in my assessment, I'm thinking of 7-game series. Butler don't look like he moving good, even though he played a decent game tonight. He played a good game tonight. Him and Steph look like they kind of hobbled and gimbled a little bit. And going into playing against these T-Wolves, they gonna be ready, man. They hungry. They ready. They sitting and waiting. It's gonna be tough.
I think the X factor, because my thing is, who's guarding Drew Randall?
Right.
That's what I want to know. Because if you go big, you put Kevon Looney in there to deal with, because now you mess up your spacing. Because if you put Loon in there and you have Draymond bang with Drew Randall's a low man. You got to be ready to bang with him.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, Unc. It's gonna be some nose to nose in this series, because Julius Randle.
Well, I could definitely see Randall and Draymond getting into it.
you know that's gonna happen. I think I think one of the weapons for the Warriors, man, they're gonna have to try to find a way to get Kuminga back into the fold because they're gonna need him in this series coming up, man. And it kind of showed today. They needed him early, but I think they're gonna need him throughout this series. He got youth on his side.
Yeah.
He's played in big moments. He knows what he's capable of doing. I think they need his productivity, especially coming up in this series. He hadn't played in a while. I know they've been throwing him out there here and there, but they got to try to find some consistent minutes for him.
I like the T-Wolves also because I don't know when they go to the bench, Nas Reed, who's going to deal with him? Because not only can he shoot the three and stretch the floor, he can also go down and post.
Yeah.
So now you got to think about it. That's Moody, that's Kuminga, that's trying to deal with a true big.
Yeah, and that's why I favor the T-Wolves because of them big bodies that they have that they can throw at them. They big bodies can score and they can play make. So and they guards sit down and they play deep. McDaniels, Edwards,
Alexander
Walker, DiVincenzo's. Those are some guys. Obviously who's gonna win you games throughout a series. So I give the T-Wolves the edge, man. I think it's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Gary Payton II didn't play tonight. He was dealing with an illness. He's going to get a lot of minutes on Ant-Man. They're going to try to wear Ant-Man down. They'll probably have Kuminga deal with him. They'll have Moody deal with him. They'll have Gary Payton II deal with him. They're going to try to throw different because I don't think anybody can stop him. You're going to try to get the ball out of his hand wherever you can, make somebody else beat you. Lakers did that, and McDaniels had a great series. Nas Reed knocked down some big shots. Obviously, Jude Randle gave you what he gave you, probably averaged 22 and 8 for that series. This is going to be a very, very interesting matchup. It's going to be a chance. I'm going to see how Finch is what he's going to do with Steph, how he's going to defend Steph. Because Buddy Hield's like, I'm going to make y'all pay. Because y'all make it seem like I can't shoot the three. Y'all know I can shoot these three.
Well, man, listen, if you don't scratch in game 6, how we expect for you to come out and give us 30 something in game 7? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, ain't nobody expecting. I'm like, this man is he out of it.
Hey, when he hit that shot, what was that? At the end of the half?
Yeah.
I said, oh,
Yeah.
man. I said, oh.
Hey, it's good. Things good. You living right, Unc. You living right.
Yeah, I said, oh.
Hey, for a guy who couldn't make a shot in game 6 to hit that, like, yeah, that's a confidence builder.
Hey, listen,
so you know.
Yeah, I don't.
He because he had 23. He had 23 in the first half. He didn't give you none in the third quarter. I don't think he scored any in the third. Did he score in the third quarter? I think he got his 11 in the fourth.
Yeah. He said he done his job.
He said, I got y'all this lead. I spotted y'all. So okay, Steph and Jimmy, y'all carries home.
Hey, I don't know how much the NBA is a copycat league. As you watch a series and knowing you playing up the following team coming up next, like the NFL is, you see something work on another team, and then you just copy that and do the same thing. Well, you know how to slow Steph down. Maybe not stop him, but contain him and just do the same thing the Rockets was doing defensively. The Wolves are capable of doing that. They're capable of doing the same thing.
I think the Rockets, the Wolves might have better defenders, individual defenders. Right. Jay McDaniels is a better individual defender than anybody that.
Wait, individual defender. I don't think there's really nobody off the dribble that can stay with Steph regardless of who it is.
No, look, ain't nobody really dealing with nobody one-on-one, Ocho. These the best of the best.
Okay. Right.
You try to make it as tough as possible. So if he gives you 20, if he averages 27, you try to hold him to 23.
Right.
Or if he gets his 27, you try to make it as inefficient as possible. Right. But you go out there and say, oh yeah, you average 27, you ain't getting with 12 today. Right. Okay, good luck with that.
Yeah, nah. But I think T-Wolves got the defenders to wear him down throughout a series. Those long rangy guys, who gonna be pesty, pick him up for it. Just don't give him nothing easy. Man, when I be watching the game, they take Steph out the game, they be playing 4-on-4 out there. That man be standing in half court. His man don't even be looking at the ball. But I got the T-Wolves. And may the young fella legacy continue. I think I think he's gonna be special. I think he's gonna be special in this series.
I do too. And Ant is a big game performer. I think the best thing that happened to Ant was going to the Olympics. and being around KD, being around LeBron, being around Steph Curry, like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm where I
what I got to
belong.
do.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Amongst the greats.
Yes. And so how they approach it, how they get themselves prepared, how they go about their business. Now look, he's not gonna that's not what he is. He's not gonna be as buttoned up as LeBron and Steph.
No.
But you just got to accept him for who he is. That's who he is.
Yeah.
And you heard what you just said?
Yes.
He doesn't have to be as button up. And he refused to be
Yeah.
that. He's authentic to himself, which is why he's so relatable to everyone else. Why everybody's going to be a fan. And then, like, you have
Right.
some people that bring up stuff that has nothing to do with on the field, and on the
Right.
court, Anthony Edwards. But man, I love and appreciate anybody that remains true to themselves and who they are without conforming to how they think you should be as an NBA player.
Yeah.
But no, I don't just necessarily think it's an NBA player because every player is not held to the same standard as a LeBron and a Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wasn't held to the standard like Jordan. Everybody wasn't held to the standard like Bird and
Right,
Magic
right.
or Kobe. There's difference. But when they say, okay, when they talk about the NBA and they have these pictures up there, your face is front and center. When the NBA marketing campaign, they want you front and center.
Right.
It's different now. You got to realize these guys, like those old guys, they got married. Now these guys, Ocho, they playing video games. Jordan ain't playing no video games.
Right,
Magic and Bird, the old guy wasn't playing no damn video games, man. These guys now, they playing COD and they playing Fortnite against somebody on a whole different team. Hey man, what's your name? What's your tag? All right, come on, check this out. It's a different time now, and I think we have to change our way of thinking of what the face of the NBA is. Because the old faces, those guys aren't like that anymore.
No.
Hey, look, whether he likes it or not, when you chosen, bro.
Nothing you can do. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
And the route that he's taken, whether he likes it or not, he complete this mission right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna happen whether he likes it or not. And that just comes with the game. It's part of it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, when you chosen, Joe, you can't run from that. You remember Jonah? God told him, say that he's like, nah, let somebody else. And so what he gonna do? He gonna get the boat and go. That way I said, come here. Now when he spit his ass back up on the shore, what'd he do? He went and did what Jesus asked him to do, didn't he, Ocho? You see, when you chosen, when that's your calling, you can't run from it.
Hey, listen, you might not answer the phone. It's your call. You might not answer the phone.
Don't worry about it.
He'll take care of the rest.
Yeah. So you can't run from that. I understand because he's like, man, look, I want to go. I want to be free. I want to do what I want to do without y'all looking over my shoulder and cameras everywhere I go because I might come out this little hole in the wall and, basically the NBA ain't supposed to be in the hole in the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Joe, you know what I'm saying, Joe?
Hey, I understand, but when the universe pick you, baby, they pick you.
Yeah.
You got to tread like
Is Ant-Man the best big game player in the NBA currently?
Best big game player in the game currently. Man, we've had some guys play some big games. Yeah, I think I probably give him the nod. I think because he just accepts it, man. He's a little different than some of the other superstars that we have in the league, and I think that's why people gravitate to the rawness of who he is and how he speaks his mind and how he carries himself and how he talks trash throughout the games. And I'm looking
to anybody.
Yeah, I'm looking to play the Warriors.
It don't matter who you are.
Hold on, y'all seen what Obama say? He said, "Look at this guy right here. He can play a little bit, huh?" He said, "You better stand down. I'm the truth." Yeah, what you talking about? Stop playing with me. So we love that. We gravitate toward it, and we all want to see him do good, man. Because he has the talent, and night in and night out, bro, he gives us something spectacular. You know what I mean?
Because not only can he make the three, he can play above the rim. He put your ass on the poster now. You go up there if you want to. Hey, I'm telling you, you're going to be on his card. You're going to be on his card.
I think the underrated thing, his underrated attribute is his defense, Unc and Ocho.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm saying on any level, whether it's blocking shots, whether it's locking down, playing his one-on-one defense, fighting over picks. Like, he showed me some of that Lakers series, and I was like, young fella taking the next step. And that's what it is, playing on both ends, being a two-way superstar. You know what I mean? Not just a two-way player, but he's a two-way superstar because he impacts the game on both ends of the floor. Just like in that last closeout game against the Lakers, he didn't play great offensively, but defensively, he was disruptive. He made plays offensively, and he did enough for them to win. Like, it didn't take for him to, wow you on the stat sheet. So,
Yeah, I think that's the best part when you can tell about a player, when you can find other ways to impact the game,
you go.
even when you're not doing what you're known for, which is scoring. Can I impact the game, Ocho? If I don't have 10 catches, how's my blocking? How's my decoy? Am I getting out of there, make everybody think I'm about to?
Right.
I'm about to get this rock when I know I'm just clearing for somebody else to run the shallow or to run that deep over, but I need to make sure I get that safety up out of there and pull that linebacker. Is that really? So you got to find other ways to impact the game, because sometimes guys only see their value if I'm catching passes, if I'm scoring points.
Right.
No, you got to find value in other things also, and that's when you become the greatness. Maybe a made three is going to be all of that. I call it the Russell Westbrook roller coaster. And that's what he just laid it out for you.
Yeah.
I say, hey, he might shoot an air ball. He might turn it over. You're like, no, Russ, don't shoot that. Come on, Russ. And then when you least expect it, he'll go 4 or 5 from the 3.
Yeah.
He'll get 2 steals. He'll make some big go back and look at the series.
Yeah. Hey,
he played unbelievable.
Short-term memory. He has it.
His short term, he got amnesia.
Just like in football, from week to week, you got to put it behind you. Short term memory. We got to move on. We got another game. Well, in basketball, you playing every other night, or considering in a basketball game in possessions. Russ, if he come down, miss a wide open layup, he gonna hustle back, try to get the block or a steal. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It is, and you have to accept that.
Dude.
You have to accept. You have to take the good with the bad. But just know one thing: he giving you everything he got.
Every time.
You ain't got. Come on, hey Russ, pick it up a little bit. Russ has never had a coach to tell him to pick it up. He might have to say, "Son, calm. Hey, you come on down. Settle down. You okay?" You might have to tell him to settle down or calm down, but you're never gonna have to tell him to pick it up, because he's gonna give you that effort, and you can appreciate that. And sometime in trying to give you everything he got, he's a little out of control. He'll fumble the ball out of it. I mean, the other night he had 2 point-blank layups, missed them both in Game 6.
He did.
But he come right back. He come right back down. He gonna get you a second. He gonna get you extra possessions because he gonna battle somebody for the rebound. I saw him last night on the line against. He ought to get the rebound. He ain't got no business whatsoever. When you ever seen a 6'4" guard in the box trying to get a missed free throw?
Hey, and that's why you gotta love him. That's why you gotta love him.
He go. Is Russ the X factor? The Nuggets against the Thunder.
Is he the X factor? Maybe. If he play well, obviously they always got a great chance of winning. But I think this Thunder team is it's their time, it's their moment. They've been sitting around waiting. I know we can go off rust or whatever the case may be, but I think this is a young team who's prepared and understands the moment, and they're gonna come out ready.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Obviously, you need Yoke and Murray to do what they do. I think probably Gordon has been really consistent over the last 3 to 4 games. He's been really consistent in that last series against the Clippers. He needs to play really well. A big body guy that can defend now, but his offense is playing well. He's knocking down the 3. He crashes the glass. If I had to say an X factor, I think they need Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Because sometimes he drifts.
Right.
Yeah, if he can get.
But when he's in, go ahead.
I agree. If he can get him some consistent productivity in this series, to where they're able to compete, they always gonna have a great chance. Like, I think we all know what Jokic is gonna do. He's gonna make them dudes around him better, and if he have to score 40 or 50, we know he'll do that as well. But I like how the series went throughout the regular season, how they played, and how OKC competes against them. So I just don't think they got nobody who could deal with Shea on the perimeter. If I'm just being honest, you know what I mean? Like I
No,
think he's gonna be able to pretty much have his way now. Yeah, you probably could put Gordon on him sometime, but even him, I just don't think I don't think they're gonna have nobody who can stop him.
no. I think Brown will start because he seems to be their best defender. But that's what happened when you let KCP go and you let what's the other guy name? They ended up letting him go, who was a great defender. Bruce Brown, yeah. They let him go, and so now it's really left up to Christian Braun because he's really the only defender.
Yeah.
Like the Gordon, but I don't think they're gonna put Gordon on the point. They normally put Gordon on the big guy if it's LeBron or if it's a KD. Guys like the Jason Tatum.
I'm saying, I'm saying if he get it going though, Unc. I'm saying if he get it going to one of them games, you can't stop him. You're gonna have to.
You try to put that light
you
out.
You got to put some size on him. You know what I mean? Because them guys, ain't no little dude.
I do.
6'6".
No. He's 6'7".
Yeah, he gonna get to his spots and raise up, and them little dudes ain't gonna be able to do nothing with that.
Right.
I just got to make it tough. I got to keep. Hey, Joe, I got to keep him from the rim, and I got to keep him off the free throw line. If he's making threes and pull ups, I can't take every damn thing away.
You gotta live with that.
But he's the one dude who has the mid range game down to the T, and if he can't get his three off and get to the basket, he gonna always be able to get to his midi. So this is what I'm talking about. That's the step that I was talking about that I want Jalen Green to make. And just being able to get to that mid range because he's so athletic, bro. He can get up once he go into his shot. You can't block that.
Right. You got to put that time in the lab, though. Ocho, who you like in this series, Ocho?
Yo, I'm going with the young bulls. I'm going with the young bulls. Even though, like when you asked a question about the X factor, I think the X factor would be Russ. Obviously, with Russ coming off the bench, we know what Joker gonna do. If they have a chance to win this series, if the Nuggets do have a chance, I think Russ would have to be the difference maker. He'd have to be the difference maker. Obviously, Porter has to do what he needs to do. Murray is going to be Murray, and you know what Joker could do. I really think Russell Westbrook has to be that X factor in order for them to even have a chance to win this series. But I'm going with OKC.
That make OKC so tough is that they got guys coming off the bench that sit in the chair. They're mainly there to sit in the chair, but they can knock down threes. You look at Caruso, you look at Isaiah Joe, you look at Wiggins. They got guys,
Wallace.
Man. They really Wallace, yes.
Yeah.
And you still got Lou Dort, you got Jalen Williams. So they got 6 guys that are 3-and-D guys. There ain't very many teams that have that many guys that are 3-and-D guys. And they got 2 guys.
Sound like you going with Denver. Sound like you going with OKC too. It's hard to go against Joe, ain't it?
It is, man. It's hard.
Because you can see him.
It's hard.
Because in some sense, you can kind of see him going in there showing out. You can kind of see him
because it's MVP.
Yeah.
It's the 2 lead candidates for the MVP.
Right.
He said, let me show you. Hey, let me show y'all why I should win it. 45, 19, and 13.
Yeah. Hey, listen, and we wouldn't be surprised if we see those stat numbers. But yeah, I totally understand that they're definitely capable of winning the series. I just seen some holes in their defense or in their.
Oh yeah. They definitely have some lapses. Absolutely. Drew Holiday is set to return from injury. Game 1 versus the Knicks. Holiday would make his return to the floor after missing the final 3 games of Boston first-round series with a hamstring strain. How important is it for them? Because he's probably going to match up with Brunson. He'd probably take Brunson. But you got a bunch of guys you can throw at Brunson.
Yeah.
You can throw Derek White at Brunson.
Yeah.
You can throw Holiday at Brunson.
You can
put Jalen Brown on Brunson.
You put Holiday coming off an injury out there in front of Brunson. He gonna pull something. He gonna pull something. Yeah,
you put Derek White on.
You can put Derek White on. He gonna sauce Derek White up too. You can put Jalen Brown out there on him too. He gonna sauce Jalen Brown up there too. You got to understand, everybody, you're naming players that are really good. You're naming players that are defensive players. But everyone Jalen Brunson goes against, he going to get to a spot. He going to drive. He going to use his body. He going to do what he always do, regardless of who it is out there.
I'm trying to make him as inefficient as possible. That's all I'm trying to do. He going to get to his spot.
Right.
I'm trying. Hey, he get 33. I'm trying to make him take 30 shots to get it.
Hey,
that's all I can do.
Just trying to weigh him down. You're just trying to get different looks, different bodies. Hopefully, look, they just come out of grueling series as well. He was banged up a little bit in that series, so he carried on to the next series. You know that. We got to make it tough on him.
I'm trying to hound him. He like Joe said, he just came out of 7-game series. He's averaging 40, 42 minutes a night.
Yeah.
So, hey.
6.
Pick him up, D. White, you got it. Hey, Jalen, you got it. Holiday, you take it. Oh, yeah, we just go, hey. Peyton Pritchard, hey, be pest.
Yeah.
Just buzz around like a gnat. Annoy the hell out of him. I'm sure the Celtics are happy to have him back because, like you said, Jalen Brunson is the one guy that really can create his own shot. It's gonna be interesting to see the matchup. They'll probably put OG on Tatum.
Mm-hmm. This is why they got him.
I'm thinking probably take Josh Hart, probably have him on Jaylen Brown.
Who Bridges gonna guard? Who you putting Bridges on?
Oh, Bridges. You know what? I think Bridges might. You know what? Bridges might take Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
And then Josh Hart take Derek White.
Yeah. And OG on Tatum.
Yep.
Yeah. This is why they went and got OG.
Hey, but here's the thing. Who y'all and I guess Porzingis and Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Al Horford and Cat.
Yeah.
What you got? You got Knicks and 6?
I got the Celtics.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
I got the Celtics.
Joe?
I got the Celtics. Nah, that. The 5 over with. It's over with. It's over with. I got the Celtics. I got the Celtics on Ocho. A very experienced team. Obviously, and they've been playing well. They know what these battles are like, and they've had the Knicks number. Over the years.
Yeah.
I don't even think this is gonna be a long series. I actually think it's gonna be a short one. Actually.
Sweeping?
I ain't saying sweep.
What the hell about you? You ain't like my 5 prediction. Well, hell, go. You don't like that pick? Go with 6.
I'm saying you wore the 5 out, Unc. The 5 gone. Come on. we got to.
I got to bring it back.
Lakers, we got to find something that's catchy. I mean, for the Celtics. I don't.
Man, you remember? Hey, Joe, you remember they brought the bell bottom pants back?
Yeah.
Remember the bell bottom jeans? They back in style. Bell bottom dress pants back in style.
Everything come full circle. Everything come full circle. But I say I do got the Celtics in 5. I say the Knicks will win the game.
Got something very interesting for the both of you guys. The number of players declaring for the NBA draft by year. In 2021, it was 353. In 2022, it was 283. In 2023, it was 242. In 2024, it was 201. This year, it's only 106. The NIL money, Ocho.
Yeah.
Got the boy like, hey, let me go on stay here and get a quick 250, 500.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you going to give me that money, and I'm going to stay right here in college.
Yeah. Man, listen, also the opportunity with the great understanding, your chances of making to the NBA and actually playing in the NBA and making that squad, it's only a team of what, 15, right? How many players it is?
15 a team.
Yeah, 50.
So you got about 400 players.
Yeah, man.
450.
I'm gonna bet on myself in college and get as much as I can.
Hey, and that's 450. That's every year. That ain't just this year.
Yeah. Ain't like they ask something. Hey, ain't no we're gonna be 460.
So look, if you got 50, 60 guys coming in every year, you got 50, 60 leaving every year. So that's every year. And that's why I tell cats, as hard as it is to make it to the league, bro, it's even harder to stick. You know what I mean? It's harder to stick because once you get there, you can't exhale. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. You got to work even harder. So, I tell cats all the time, bro, can't get.
It's hard. It's Joe, and that's what I tell football players. I say, bro, it's easier to get in the league and stay than get out the league and try to get back in.
Yeah.
Because if you think it's hard getting in, get in and get out and try to get back in.
Right.
Unless you're a quarterback and you got to be decent.
Yeah. And what they say at the stadium, you go to the game, you exit the arena, you can't get back in. Hey, once you in? See, I got a ticket. Even you got a ticket. They nah, bro, you done left. We can't let you back in the game. And that's how they feel about sports. It's like, Bro, I was just here a year ago. I was only gone a year. Y'all make it seem like I was gone a decade.
Right.
Oh well.
Yeah.
A lot of other people done came in, bro. We the NFL, they had 70 early declarations in 2025, down from 82 in 2023. NIL changed the game. College athletes aren't finding value in risking turning pro when they can earn 6, 7 figures right here. And that's what I say. Why am I gonna go to the NFL, Ocho?
Yeah.
If there's a possibility, man, I go get me 6 million, stay right here. Quarterback.
But also you have to understand the people that are choosing to go back. They questioning themselves. You question yourselves with great understanding. Well, hell, if I know what I'm gonna get going to the NFL and entering the draft, it's because I know I'm that boy. Because you know
That's
what you're
what
gonna get.
I told Quinn. What did I tell you, Ocho? If I'm Quinn Ewers, I take my butt. I go jump into that portal, and I go somewhere
One
else,
more?
and I make me $3-4 million a
And
year.
do one more, huh?
Yes, as opposed to be a 5th or 6th or 7th round draft pick.
Right.
Because I believe he could have built his value. He could have been, who knows, a 1st or 2nd day
Yep.
pick, and picked up at 3-4 mil.
Mm-hmm.
I would have, because if Carson Beck jumped in the portal and got $4 million from the University of Miami,
Yeah.
which called I'm a leaver, because look at his last name, how I spell. I'm a leaver. That's what he did at Tennessee. He left. Now I don't know why he left a state like Tennessee with no state income tax to go to California
Right.
to take $300,000-$400,000 less, where there's 50% state
Yeah,
tax.
what's that about?
Make it make sense. Make it make sense, Ocho.
Listen, I don't know who was advising him. I'm not sure where he thought he could make more. But again, I always tell you, if you deserve what you was asking for, they would have gave it to you where you was at, because that's what they thought of you.
The Warriors are on the brink of blowing another 3-1 lead throughout
I didn't
NBA history. There have been 290 instances in which a team has gone 3-1 in the playoffs. The series, only 13 times has the team come back to win. The Warriors know all too well about blowing a 3-1 lead, as they're one of the 13 teams to do so. Q, who you got tomorrow night?
Oh man, this is a tough one for me because game sevens you throw everything out the window, but I can't not roll out with the light skinned assassin and Jimmy Bucket and Draymond, just with the experience they got, man. Like if I'm wrong, I take that to the chin, but I just with the inconsistencies of the young boys over there in Houston, I gotta
No inconsistency of Jalen Green. Go ahead and say that. Everybody else, hey, Fred VanVleet, the last 5 games have been on one.
Hey, listen. I feel like we don't even respect Fred VanVleet is a champion, a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like he gotta give him proper respect. He doing what I expect him to do. He over there and like win, lose, or draw. Houston Rockets is gonna be back. Win, lose, or draw. They gonna be right back like they forgot something. Ime got them boys growing. I love, you know what I'm saying? Like we talking about VanVleet being a veteran OG out there that's able to get it done and impact the game and be able to show them and say what he's saying and it means something because he out there. So I like what they got going on. But even still, with that being said, I don't know. When you got that little dude number 30, that all it take is if he hit one, it's now we in the Matrix. He turned into Neo, and everything else it don't matter. We done all seen it happen. The game could hinge on that right there. If he come out and make one shot and start looking funny, if he give you a little shimmy, it's curtains. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's about to be a long night, and it's like I don't know, like you say with the. To me, when I say inconsistencies with Houston, it's like they don't know where they gonna get their scoring from night to night. It's like it's nice, like who leads them in scoring and who you would expect to do it, but like it's not concrete. You can't hang your hat on it like, all right, we gonna such and such from this player or that player. It's like it might be anybody, and when you got something like that, it's hard for me to roll the dice with that.
Yeah, look, Şengün has been sensational. He's been doing a great job. He leads them in points, rebounds, assists, and steal. I thought inserting Steven Adams. He was the difference maker the other night.
Yeah.
He gave him rebounding. He gave him toughness. He did all the right plays. They went to Hacker Adams. He made 9 of 16.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think that takes the team out of their rhythm because you don't get a flow. You stop. You don't get to go up and down. But if I don't know what Fred VanVleet did from games 4 through 6.
Yeah.
But he been on one.
Yeah.
He's been on one. I'm talking about he's coming down on the break and he's like, nah, you under the basket. I don't want the 2. I want this pull up. I want this 26-foot pull up.
Yeah.
And it's been money. I like what they're doing when it comes to Steph because he tried to come off that pick. They double him, make him get a ball up because I don't believe, look, Draymond, I'm not worried about Draymond. If you notice, Draymond always take the first shot because he wide ass open. They're going to leave him open too. You're not finna make 8 of those. Steph Curry can. So you shoot as many of them as you want, Draymond. Yeah. We're not going to worry ourselves with that. But what we will worry ourselves with is to make sure Steph don't catch foul on us. Keep Jimmy Butler off the free throw line because you know he's going to attack the basket. It's going to be interesting to see Steve Kerr, how does he play this thing? Because remember the other night he started Gary Payton II. He went away from his normal lineup with Podziemski. So does he go back to that cue, or does he ride with Gary Payton II again, or is Moody inserted into the starting lineup? What's he gonna do?
I might start Moody and bring GP off because he's a pace changer to me. You know what I'm saying? He comes in and is supposed to raise the energy and things like that. If it's not right, try and get some energy, defensive energy going. I would start Moody to see. I mean, I like what Moody's been doing. He presents a lot of length defensively. You know what I'm saying? And I would start him. He's been shooting the ball. I mean, not as well as you want.
But he's made some big shots. Yeah, he's hit some big threes in rhythm.
He's shown that he'll knock down the shot and he'll make some plays, drive to the basket, and like I say, most importantly, he got a lot of length defensively, and that's always big in these games.
Ocho, what you thinking? The Warriors gonna blow another 3-1 lead?
Absolutely not. Curry's not having another bad game like that. Listen, even what they tried to do, trapping him, making all shots contested, it's not happening. Listen, the Warriors have a championship pedigree, and there's no way in hell they lose a game 7. Not like this. It's definitely not going to happen. I think Draymond can do what Draymond does. Jimmy Butler, like you say, he going to get to the basket, whether they try to stop it or not. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to be playoff Jimmy like we used to seeing him when he was with Miami. And Curry, he going to cook. He going to cook, especially after that last game. He's not going to have another performance like that.
I think Draymond need to make sure he stay within himself. Because I think sometimes he get going too early and he kind of gets himself out of rhythm. He gets early fouls, he gets techs, and now he knows in a game like Game 7, they're gonna probably get a take early because he know they're not gonna throw him out. They don't want to impact the game like that.
Right.
So he has a very good understanding because most players to do what Draymond does, they'd be gone. They'd be teed up. Whoop. Oh, what'd you say? Whoop. Take that with you on the way. You out of here, bro.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do that to him in the playoffs, though, huh?
No, that's what I'm saying. He knows that.
Okay,
but I think sometimes it gets him out of his game. Now, sometimes he riles himself up. It gets the team going. But it had the opposite effect the other night. It got the Rockets going.
Yeah.
Shingun, they was pounding them on the glass. I mean, they crushed them. They crushed them on the glass. They had 25 offensive rebounds.
That's part of Draymond's superpower, though. He got to play with that edge. He got to play with with the way he play. That's part of what makes him him. If he doesn't play like that, he's not as impactful or as effective as he can be. Now, I agree with you. He got to toe that line and tuck it in when he need to, but he absolutely got to play like that to be the most impactful and the best version of Draymond Green. Like you say, he can't step over that line, but he got to toe it.
And plus, that big lineup that Houston go out there with Steven Adams and Shingun, the Warriors can't match up with that. That's why Adams and Shingun was killing them on the glass. Yeah, because you don't want to play Looney. You really don't, because he don't really give you a whole lot offensively. He set picks and he can rebound, but Shingun's gonna punish whoever on the offensive end. And so now you got Big Adams. They like, okay, now you take a shoot off the floor. We want you to play. They try to put Post out there who's a big that can stretch the floor and shoot that, but he's a little bit too inconsistent. Yeah. So if I'm my man, I'm gonna keep blitzing Curry. I'm gonna try to get the ball out of his hand as much as I possibly can. I'm gonna trap him every chance I get. He goes to that corner. Hey, let the big guy roll. We can come from we give you help backside.
Hold
But
on.
we're not letting Curry get no easy shots. Huh?
Listen, we talk about Curry, we talk about Jimmy, we talk about Draymond. We ain't talk about the elephant in the room. What is Curry gonna do about Kuminga? Obviously, you're one of your most athletic players.
He led
Somebody
them in
can
scoring
play on
during the
both
season
ends.
against the Rockets. In the games during the regular season against the Rockets, he averaged the most points for the Warriors against them.
So it only
Well,
makes sense. It only
well, you
makes sense
said
in
that.
Game 7 to put him in there.
I don't
Steve
know
Kerr
how
said
good he's going to be.
Steve Kerr said Jonathan Kuminga returns to the rotation as 100% on the table in Game 7. 100%, Kuminga is on the table. We kind of found a formula here in the latter part of the season. We've stayed with that formula to start this series up 3-1. Things are going well, and obviously the last few games have gone very poorly. We have to assess everything, the lineup combination, starters, all of that we have to assess.
I don't know why he fell out of favor and what happened with that, but did y'all see him the last time he got in the game? He didn't look like he was like, he didn't look locked in and look like he would be. I hope the young fella do get out there and ball out and do his thing. But from the looks of everything that he did last time, it don't look likely. Don't look like he's mentally there. You know, like when you a young fella like that, I don't know how easy it is for you to get back into it.
Right. Hey, Q, when you have a coach that is not playing you and you don't know what's going on or what happened. Obviously, we don't know from the outside looking in what happened internally. But for you to be one of the best players on that team that can contribute on both ends of the court and then not get any playing time, it has to be something. It has to be something that we don't know publicly. But I mean, I hope his confidence is there. You know, after not playing for so long, sometimes something like that can do something to your mental. Obviously, when he does get in the game, or is he going to be gun shy? Is he going to be scared to pull the trigger? Is he going to be hesitant?
I mean, if it was me, my boy, I'd be like, listen, I can't take it personal. He benched Jason Tatum. Who am I to be mad at him?
Okay.
Benching me. Like, I'm going to just take it like a champ and keep it moving. He like,
That's a good one.
You feel me? I mean, real talk, though. Like,
yeah, I don't know what Kuminga's done, but he's definitely been out of the rotation, and he's one of their more athletic guys. He can defend. He can get all the way to the rim. He can occasionally knock down the three. That's not his strong suit. But for whatever reason, hey, he don't even get no mop-up minutes. Like, damn, let me break a sweat so I don't have to get on the bike after the game. He can't get no cardio in. He got to get on the bike after the game, after sitting. He's like, I'm all still, and I got to get 30 minutes on the stationary bike.
And then you saying he was getting shots up after one of the games and everything. Like, that's a little bat signal. Like, yeah, I'm hot. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he probably said, "Get me out. Hey, y'all ain't gonna play me. Get me out of here. Let me go somewhere. Hey, let me go somewhere. At least I can contribute. I can play. Yeah. I ain't saying, hey, look, I'm not saying I'm SGA. I ain't saying I'm one of the 5-10 best players in the NBA. But damn, I see guys that I know I'm better than, and they getting 10, 15 minutes a night, and I can't get that.
Yeah, I know a perfect place for him, too.
Moving around.
I know the perfect place for him, too.
Man, ain't nobody coming there.
I know the perfect place, bro. Right here.
He thinks somebody always want to go to the Miami Heat. With Pat Riley with them 1955 rules.
Hey, listen, it ain't even bad as you think it is, man. People listen, when you look at the guys that go there, they have some of their best years of their careers when they go there.
And look at the guys leave. I saw Dwayne Wade leave. I saw Jimmy Butler leave. I saw LeBron James leave. Now that's 3 of the best players that you've had in the last 15 years. Now tell me what I don't know, Q.
What you don't know?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna let him finish up. You can chime in after him, Q.
We all got family, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you get mad at your auntie or your uncle or your cousin or even your mom or your brother or sister, right?
I like that. I like where you're going.
I ain't leaving them.
Look, he didn't leave for good. He left and went over his auntie house, and then he came back over here back to uncle's house. He came back.
Come on.
Okay, you think Jimmy coming back?
I didn't say Jimmy came back. I was talking about D Wade when we said that. When we was talking.
Oh yeah. Okay. What about LeBron? LeBron going back to Miami?
No, I said family.
But I'm saying the mere fact that family left. If I leave the house, yeah, I might come back when I'm on hard times.
D Wade was a different type of family. Like D Wade was drafted homegrown there. That's Dade County.
and he left.
You can't say the same for LeBron or Jimmy, so it wasn't that same type of thing.
He left.
And came back, and they both admitted that it was some wrongdoings and reasons why they left, and they came together and pieced up, and it's all love.
Yeah.
This is from them. This ain't mine.
Yeah, it's all love.
Yeah.
But I see D Wade is part owner in the Utah Jazz. He's sitting courtside in the Utah Jazz. Why isn't he sitting courtside at Miami? It's family now.
No, time out. D Wade do be sitting courtside in Miami. He got a statue in Miami, and he's a
and deservedly so.
He's a smart businessman.
And deservedly so. Yeah. But we can't pretend like people aren't fed up with Pat Riley and those archaic ways. Q. That's not being true. You hear it, but
it work. It go two ways though. You got to understand that some of those same ways that people being critical of are the reasons for some of the most brilliant careers that you talk about. Ooh. The best version of LeBron James that you know was right there under those archaic rules.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I still like LeBron when he went back to Cleveland.
No, you ask anybody in the league. That LeBron James, them 2 years back to back, please.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. That was hell on wheels, boy. You hear me? Like, please. You talking about
okay, let's say that. Okay. And then what made LeBron leave?
Both sides.
Okay. He had his best years. And then what made LeBron leave?
You got that
during the 27-game winning streak. What happened, Q?
I don't know. I didn't heard a lot.
You know what happened? D Wade said it. Norris Cole said it.
Cookies being taken away. I heard about cookies being taken away. I done heard about all type of stuff. But I also heard that some of the same things that he ran from that he tried to take with him and bring and bestow on these other organizations when he went there. So it wasn't all bad.
You already know, Rich, Mav is going to be there every day. Mav is my chief of staff. Not Mav, excuse me. What's the other one? Randy. Randy's going to be there. Have you ever seen LeBron James anywhere without Randy? I have not. Whether it's out in Vegas, whatever the case may be, Randy is going to be there.
So Pat should have let him be there.
Oh, he going to be there. You want it. You going to be there. You don't want him. But hold on. You already know when you sign up. If you get Giannis, what you see what the Giannis brother is? Where you at?
Hey, time out though. You just said you already know what you get when you sign up, right? So you can't say that and then say that LeBron came to Miami as a free agent, knowing that the Godfather was the Godfather and the Godfather do what the Godfather does, and he always has. You signed up for that.
I did, but not to be petty and take some damn cookies away. I ain't 10 and then clean up. Listen, you took cookies away like I didn't clean up my damn room.
It could have been a headband. It could have been anything, but the cookies is what set it up. But like, this is what you signed up for when you signed up.
I ain't signed up for this. I signed up to come down here to get structure. I wanted to play with D Wade, Chris Bosh, and
it got you 2 championships, and it showed you how to go on the rest of the way and be a champion.
Hold on. Hey, we talk about the heat of the old. Let's talk about the new heat. Let's talk about the new heat. And
the new heat, it doesn't matter. It's still Pat running it.
You don't think they about to get somebody?
Oh, no. Yeah, I've been telling you. I'm trying to tell you. I already know.
That's what people always understood and knew. Pat Riley, the Godfather, is always one move away. How did he
ain't got Kevin Durant yet?
Got Shaq, and then they win a championship. Like he always willing to swing for the fences and do what needs to be done.
But he don't have the draft capital to do it. What he gonna do? I think about it. He couldn't get Kevin Durant. He could get Dame Lillard. So in order to get, let's just say for the sake of argument, Kevin Durant. What do you think it's gonna take for him to get Kevin Durant? He gonna have to give up the hero and Bam? Then what? Who can he get? Giannis?
I don't think so.
I told you who we're going to get. I already told you already. I sat down with Pat Riley and Mickey Harrison. I done told Robert Horry. I done talked to ISO Joe. I done told Joe already. And I'm telling you too. I talked to Pat. I sat down with Mickey Harrison, and we're going to get Giannis and we're going to get Ja Morant.
I'm trying to figure out what are you, but see, here's the thing.
Listen,
there are only a handful of teams that have the pieces. they want assets because they gave up all those assets to get said players. Q, you know how this thing works. A lot of times, like, man, I want to go over there. And when you get there, they had to gut it to get you. And so now you there in the same situation you in where you left from. They're not going to be able to, I don't see how they get to Kevin Durant in Miami and keep Bam and Tyler Hero. Oh, you talking about I want Duncan Robinson and Highsmith?
Hey, you'd be surprised what these deals shake out once these players step out and say that they want to be moved. We've seen like guys ain't been yielding what you thought. Like when you look at what Rudy Gobert got in his trade, and then the trade
he got 4 first rounders.
Yeah,
Rudy.
What started happening after he did that? Nobody was getting all of them first rounders, and it was looking how did Rudy get Rudy for all of this, and you get such and such for all of that? That it wasn't going the same way. They're not giving as much up, especially when these teams, like when you get put in that pigeonhole, like a player come out and say, "Hey, I want out." Like you done, you done. Like
yeah.
we ain't gotta be at your beck and call because we're basically helping you at this point because your dude just said he won't out. So no matter what happens, you gotta get out, or your situation is blown up. So at that point. If they exhausted to a certain point, it'll get bad.
See, I told you, huh?
But here's the thing: why didn't it get that bad? Why didn't it get that bad? They couldn't pull the trigger for Dame Lillard.
That question, I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I thought that was a done deal, like everybody else.
Because they didn't want to give up Tyler Hero. I don't see a scenario where a team doesn't get Tyler Hero back as a piece. Do you see that scenario?
You never know, man. I didn't see a scenario on the planet where Dallas was trading Luka, but look what happened.
Yeah.
So I didn't learn my lesson. Like I didn't see Shaq get traded. You know what I'm saying? MJ left the Bulls. Like anything can happen. In the right circumstances, they'll do whatever they feel is the best. That's just how I go. And then they're gonna tell you that's good business. You know what I'm saying? This was best for the organization. That's why I don't be mad when players go do what they got to do.
Dame was apparently being shopped around before the injury. According to Sam Amick, the relationship between Giannis and Dame is strong, as is the respect level, but the imperfection of their on-court pairing remain in their second season together, and with the group collectively limitations growing more evident by the month, a conversation was looming about whether Lillard and the Bucks might be better off parting ways. They ain't parting ways now because ain't nobody trading for a guy that's not going to be able to play until 26, 27. So you stuck with him, and he's not going to be able to help you. So now what do you do, Q?
That's interesting just to have tidbit. Like that's a little interesting tidbit to come out right now. Like the timing of it is funny to me. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe they try and move Dame still this summer. Like stranger things that happen, man. I don't know.
Man, I ain't trading for. How you gonna give me a car? How you gonna try to sell me a car with no motor in it?
Because you seen the first where they try to come out and already say like it wasn't like a crazy tear or whatever. It was like, you know, the I guess the minimum amount of damage it could be or whatever. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. That like I say, unless Giannis come in and say something, it's gonna be real interesting to see what goes on over there because I know the last thing they're gonna do, they not coming and offering no trade for Giannis.
No. But see, that was the most shocking thing about the Luka trade. Yeah. Luka didn't request to be traded. If we go back and study history, guys that have been moved, they wanted to be moved. Kareem wanted to be moved. Shaq wanted his money. Jerry Buss didn't want to give him his money. He was starting to age, and he said, "No, I'm gonna move you." So when you look at it, Luka is 25. He had just about to turn 26. He was in the league 8 years. He was a 5-time first-team All-NBA selection, and he got moved. So normally guys don't move guys like that. You're not moving Giannis unless he says, "Come move me." You don't move KD unless KD says, "Move me." You don't move a LeBron. LeBron has never asked to be traded. LeBron has always played his contract out, and then he's left. But when you get guys like that, Celtics aren't trading Jason Tatum unless Jason Tatum says, "I want to be traded." You see Donovan Mitchell? Utah moved him. Why? Because he said he wanted to go.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Yeah.
Q, Nightcap family, let's give it up for Q. Thank him for joining us. Go follow him at Q Rich and his podcast at Knuckleheads Podcast. Q, man, thank you for your time. Thanks for joining us to break down these games and talk all things basketball. Congratulations on the podcast. Keep growing. Keep doing your thing. Thank you, bro. Check back with us.
Appreciate y'all. Before I get out of here, I just got to say one thing to you, Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the GOAT. I'm not going to debate it. I'm not going to argue it.
Okay.
It's what it is.
Jalen Brunson, game winner over the Pistons. What a shot. What a moment. The Knicks win the series. Rob, you're one of the great clutch shot shooters. Let me ask you this. I think for our audience, they want to know. In that moment, are you thinking like, man, if I make this shot, I'm a hero. If I miss it, or are you just going through it's the same whether the moment is there or not? It's just like if it was the first quarter, the second quarter, or third quarter. What goes through your head when you're taking a shot that could potentially win you the game or lose you the game?
You don't think about anything, man, because it's just like when you're in a gym, you're taking all these shots to prepare for this moment. You put the reps in, and that's what you got to do. That's why you see guys, you take Kobe, for instance. He used to be in the gym 24/7, so everything came easy for him. And if you put in the time and the work and the sacrifice, these moments like this, you don't even think about it. You think about Jalen Brunson. Most guys, they like going to their offhand to pull up for their jump shot because you can square up a little bit better. He got you going left, like he thought, oh, he's a strong left guy. He was setting him up. He set Thompson up. I'm coming right back over here to where I want to knock down this three. So it's just a process that you go through each and every day. And you watch him. He is so good at manipulating the defense. He can get you on your hip, and then he can cause the contact, or he can get you. He can gauge your speed. If you're going too fast, he stops on a dime and pulls up. And I think for him and any guy who's playing this game long enough, you don't think about it. You just do it. It's just second nature thing to you, man. You just enjoy the moment, and you just hope that you make that mug so you can talk a lot of shit.
He does a great job, Rob, as you mentioned. But he gets his body in such a position to shoot that shot. Because like you said, he's a left-handed player, and most left-handed players are left-hand dominant. They're trying to get to that left side. They want to go left. He did that. And then if you notice, he stepped back and squared himself and let it go. He hit Schroeder. He got an and one on Schroeder. And he got a tough step back. The way he can like get his body in position to take and make tough shots, for a guy his size, he's not a big guy. His body, you know what I'm saying? He's, he got a little girth to him. He got some, but what you think, 6 foot? I think he's about 6'1". But his ability, and he's stronger than you think for a guy his size, because the way he can like put that shoulder in your chest and get that shot off,
that floater,
and to square himself and to knock these shots down. He was sensational. They couldn't buy a basket for the first 9-10 minutes of the ball game. And then all of a sudden he said, man, just give me the ball. What y'all doing? And every shot that needed to be taken and made. Now they got a huge tip in by Bridges. Somebody missed a shot and they didn't block out. And Bridges got the tip. They tied it up. But once they missed that shot, I said, oh boy, y'all better get this ball. Because Thompson had just made a great defensive play of like 2 possessions earlier. He got a shot clock violation on him because he went to go up and he stripped him of the ball. He's like, Brunson, I got something for you. I got something for you. Just hold that.
But hold on, I got a question for you for Rob, man, for you and Unc, right? As great as Jalen Brunson was in this series, as great as he's been, obviously being a very, very clutch player. Hell, he just won NBA Clutch Player of the Year, right? All right, obviously showing his offensive prowess tonight with 40. Is there any chance y'all giving the Knicks and winning this series against the Celtics? Any chance?
No. And the reason I say no is because when you look at the Celtics, they got 6 guys that can score. And every time I look at the Knicks, they remind me of AI. They got this one guy that does all the scoring. Everybody else does 2 or 3 things really, really good to make that pie whole. And I do take out Bridges, who's one of my favorite players. When they use him and he's able to score, they're a totally different team. But I just think the Celtics has too much firepower. And one of the things they don't talk about with the Celtics is, you look at them, they got 4 good defensive players out there on that court. And that's and we don't talk about that because we so caught up in all the threes they shoot. But you think about, White, Holiday, even Brown, these guys are fucking good defenders. And so they got bodies to throw at Brunson, little short self. And so that's going to be hard. And, going back to Brunson, the one thing that makes him really good is, this is going to sound really crazy, is left-handed players are always have that ability to get to the line and do things because you're not used to that. You hardly ever run across a left-handed player. You think about Manu Ginobili, who I played with. He was so good because you think he's about to do something with his right hand, like, oh shit, he's left-handed. By the time you think about it, it's too fucking late. He done jade you up. And because it's just not what you're used to. It's uncommon. But I just think I think the Knicks might win one game because they play hard.
That's
I think overall, I just think the Celtics, it's gonna be a gentleman's sweep, man. I just think this, like, if the Celtics stay healthy, but they've been getting a little banged up here and there, but I just think the Celtics are too good.
Yeah, because when you look at it, think about where they go. They got Derek White that can defend. They got Holiday that can defend. They got JB that can defend. They got big Horford that can defend. Porzingis can protect the paint. And then they bring Pritchard off the bench that can score. Hauser that can score. Cornette that can give you a little rebounding. They're loaded. We know JT can defend if he have to, but he can score. JB can score. Derek White can score. They got scores. And they got defenders. So they're always going to have, at bare minimum, 2 quality defenders on the court at all times. And so when you have that, when you got 2 guys that can defend, but look what they start with. So if they start Holiday, you got Holiday, Derek White, JP, Al Horford.
Honestly, I'm going to tell you this. I like the Knicks winning at least 3 games.
No, they win.
You got to win in 3 games?
I got to win in 3 games. I mean, hey, Raw, you want to bet some on it? You want to throw a wager on there?
What do you want to bet?
Make it light on yourself. Bet 5,200.
That's very specific. Why you say 5,200?
I'm just trying. I owe Unc 5,200, so I'm trying to make it up some other kind of way and trying to break even.
Rob, let me ask you this: of all the game winners that you hit, what's your favorite one?
Lakers against the Kings.
When the ball came out to you, that game 7. Was that a game? That was game 7.
Yeah. Now it's game 4.
Okay.
Game 4. We lose that game, we go down 3-1. And the reason is my favorite because if you look at most of my game winners, they were all done on the road. And so this one was done at home. And
you got a chance to rejoice in it with the crowd.
Yeah, I grew up a huge Lakers fan, man. I grew up a big Magic Johnson fan. You would never being a Laker, you used to them chanting Kobe, or Shaq. When you get a chance to knock down a big 3 and you hear them chant your name like that, man, it's the best feeling ever. I think for me, it's probably outside of Kobe's last game is the greatest moment in Staples / crypto. And every time I see the shot from above, and when I make it and the crowd just jumps up and cheers, I get goosebumps every time I see it. Even though I love what I did in 2005 against the Pistons in Game 5 when I lit their ass.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's something. We all, as an athlete, we all got that ego. We all got that pride. You want to hear them fans chant your name, but I tell you what, I only have like one picture up. I don't even have that shot up in my house, but I do have the picture of me making that shot against the Pistons because I just like looking at the faces of the people in the crowd. You got some people like, no, and you got one guy in the crowd like this, like, yeah, because he knew it was going in.
People, I don't know if people realize this, Rob, but before those black injuries, you were a high flyer. You was, you was punching on folks. You were up over the top. People look at you and it's like, man, all he did was shoot threes. No. When you came in, I don't know what it is about them Alabama guys, you and McNice. All them guys had up, and away ups. And I don't know if people realize that, but you were a high flyer, a 6'10" guy that finished above the rim. And then you turned yourself, I think it was the back injury that you turned yourself in more of a shooter. You still could punch on folks, but not like you could when you first got into Houston.
No, it's so weird when you come in the league. A funny story is like my middle son, he came to me one time like, Daddy, you don't ever dunk anymore. You can't even dunk. And there's that one dunk in the playoffs against the Detroit Pistons that I dunked on Rip Hamilton when I took out outside the paint. And I was like, see, your dad can still dunk. I just don't have to. But, the weird part about it is when I got to the Lakers, they was like, oh, we don't want you to, they was like, we need you to just spot up. And the worst thing as an athlete, if any athletes listening, is don't let coaches limit you in what you can do. And I think, this day and age is a little bit different. Back then, it was a little bit more, I need you to do this, this, and this. And so in my mind, it became, okay, this is what they want me to do. Spot up and shoot threes and all this kind of stuff. But I showed my youngest son, Christian, who's at UCLA. I said, let me show you something, man. Come sit down. And I'll show him my highlights of me and Rockets when I used to dunk. He looked at me like, damn, you had hops. I was like, yeah, I just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have room to do it because Shaq was in the damn
way. That's dope. That's live. Hey, Rob, with some of those clutch shots you hit, did you ever keep any of the balls? Especially,
man.
I mean, you got some really, really, really good moments. And for me, I would want to keep I personally would want to keep those balls. You don't have any.
I have one.
Okay.
I have one from, it's actually the game 7 ball against the Knicks. I have that. And the only reason I have that is because I told the guy, I said, because the first 2 points of game 7 was me dunking on Patrick Ewing. And I was like, I want that ball. I want that ball. So I have that ball. And I wish I had the one I made against the Kings, because shit, if I betted you and lost, I just sell that and give me a lot of money to cover that. So I know these Laker fans will love that ball.
But speaking of, you talk about balls and being able to sell a ball and get you a lot of money. Listen, I got a prized possession. That's what I meant to say. I'm supposed to have it enclosed in a case, right? But I got the game ball when LeBron hit his 50th point.
50,000.
Seriously?
Yeah, like listen, 50,000 point, and that's something that you would think he would keep.
Show him the signature.
Yeah. So it's a 50,000 point ball right there. You see 50,000 point, and LeBron signed it for me. Yeah. So I mean, if I ever fall on hard times, man, this here gonna come in handy.
If you fall on hard times and try to sell that ball, you gonna stay on hard times.
Exactly. You might end up
you.
on real hard times.
Greg Popovich stepped down as the coach of the San Antonio Spurs today, ending a nearly 3-decade run that saw him lead the team to 5 championships. He's the all-time winningest coach in NBA history, and he's a 3-time Coach of the Year, and he's a Hall of Fame. He won a gold medal, and he's inducted to the Basketball Hall of Fame. Rob, you played for Pop. What was it about Pop that made him special? What's going to be your lasting memory of playing for Pop?
I think for me, it's just how genuine he was. And, he was one of those coaches where he'll yell at you and then take you to have some gnocchi and some wine, his 2 favorite things. And for me, I think I tell this story all the time. The one thing that really made me fall in love with the guy was my daughter, who passed away, was really sick my last year with the Spurs. And she went into the hospital like at the beginning of the season. And he was like, don't come back until she's out of the hospital. And I sat in the hospital with her for like 3 weeks. And then she finally got out of the hospital. And I came back like a day after. He says, is she out of the hospital? Like, yes, she got home like 2 days ago. He said, she ain't out of the woods yet. Go back home. Wow. We don't really need you right now. And I looked at him like, are you trying to get rid of me on the slide? He said, no, man, family first. Family first. And that's how Pop always was, man. I just heard today about the story of DeMar DeRozan when his pops passed, and now it's like, and that goes to show you, there's some things bigger than a freaking game, right? And Pop realized that, he was always about, spending time with your family, doing what's important. And I remember even my last year, I went to him and I was like, I want to ask a favor. Like, what? I said, it's my last year. I said, my son's on spring break, we're going on a road trip, can I bring my son with me? He's like, man, yeah, don't even ask me no question like that. He said, this is, it's about the family. It's about doing things. And a lot of teams wouldn't let you do that, because I remember the Lakers back in the day, you said, hey, can you get the flight back? No, it's liability, insurance thing. I'm like, what? Is this a flight home? What? So, but Pop was, he was really, really good about, man, if it came down to your family, you do whatever's necessary for your family.
Everybody talks about the relationship that he had with Duncan, because I think Duncan was the linchpin. Because if you could coach Tim Duncan hard, you can coach everybody else hard. And Timmy was receptive. And that's what you have to. Timmy was one of these superstars. that if you didn't watch the game, you would never know he was a superstar. He didn't dress like a superstar. Hell, I remember he showed up to pick up an MVP trophy with flip flops and shorts on. Like David Stern probably wanted to swing on Timmy.
He had on jorts.
You remember that, Bob?
Yeah, he had on jeans shorts.
Jeans shorts and flip flop, and David Stern like, hey, but that was Timmy. What was it about Coach Pop and Tim's relationship that made it so unique and special?
I think we're going to back this up a little bit because you really have to credit David Robinson, because you think about he had David Robinson when Tim came and David was like, yo, this is what we do here. And Tim just followed suit. You know, Tim is just that type of guy. He doesn't say much. You can talk, if you talk about cars, he'll talk to you. You talk about video games, he'll talk to you. You talk about poker. Those three things. If you don't talk about that, he ain't gonna really talk to you. But for us, you know, it took me a year just to get him to say a couple words to me. But he is just he is a type of guy who's really focused. We don't, you know, we always talk about Kobe's work ethic. We talk about it, but this dude was always in the gym shooting jump shots. You know, I'm always trying to perfect that bank shot, which we know he's famous for. Shooting a lot of free throws because that was one of his downfalls.
One of his weaknesses when he came in.
Yeah, and he worked hard, but he was just if you talk about guys who, you know, I had to get onto him one time, like, dude, can you fucking yell at somebody, man? You sitting over there like with your mouth closed, you know, you yell at someone, you're gonna be like E.F. Hutton, everybody's gonna perk up and listen. Right. So he was very mild-mannered. Well, he's mild-mannered, he didn't want to say much, but the guy was he competed, and he was, and when he let you into his world, one of the nicest guys you'll meet.
You mentioned the Twin Towers because David Robinson was there, but when David was there, I mean, they won them championship with David, but David was on the tail end of his career. That was basically a Tim Duncan team from the time he walked in the door.
Oh, it was.
He was just that good, and he was one of the last guys that was a true senior. That was the number one overall. Kenyon Martin was the last one, I think, in 2000. But Timmy was 98. I think the 98 draft was Timmy's first year. But he was the last of those guys that went 4 years of college and came out. So he was more than ready, more than prepared for the grind, because basically he was a grown man when he wasn't 18, he wasn't 17. Tim Duncan was a 22-year-old grown man when he got to the NBA.
See, you tell me something I did not know. I thought he came out early. You just so used to everybody coming out early. You know, think about, and that's the one thing that I hate about the NBA. I know these dudes are freaking 21 when they get to college now, but I just wish that I'm about to say David Stern, that Adam Silver would put like 2 years onto it, because these guys, you can tell by the way these guys play now. That's why so many threes are being shot, because they don't know how to play. They're doing what's easy, just taking the threes and not learning the game. You know, you got some guys that are going to come in the league that know how to play the game because of the upbringing and how they were taught. But it's just a lot of bad basketball being played because guys don't know how to play. You know, you think about tonight, watch the game, like, dude, the first thing you learn in high school and college is how to beat the damn zone. Right. The zone is the easiest freaking thing to beat, and you can't beat a zone. It's like, go to the open spots, go to the dunker spot, go back door. And it just shows you right there that the guys aren't learning anything because they all just trying to, you know, get to the next level to the league without learning something.
Rob, you played with some of the greats. I mean, you was on a team with Tim Duncan. You was on a team with Shaq and Kobe. You was on a team with a lot, Dream and Drexler. And I know people ask you, what the difference between Dream and Duncan, the difference between Duncan and Shaq, the difference between Clyde and Kobe. What are some of the different because all of those guys that I just mentioned are all 75 greatest players in NBA history. MVPs, Finals MVPs, Defensive Players of the Year. When you got to the Rockets, what was it about the Dream that okay, this guy's special? What set him apart?
Oh shit! I knew Dream was special when I watched him in high school. I mean, college. Because when I was coming out, I said I want to play alongside this guy. You know, I was praying that I went to the Rockets, and God willing, I did, because you could just see his work ethic. You know, you watched him. You know, guys always talk about going into the lab. Dream would be in the lab, and we didn't even know it. He would be working on stuff, and then he'll just all of a sudden get in the game. You know, you think about in '95 how he annihilated David.
Yeah, because he said they took his MVP from him.
Yeah, all that stuff we had never seen before. You should have seen us on the court. We going like, oh, kill him, Dream. Oh, we became fans on the court, right? And so you watch him, man. He just played hard, man. You think about, back in the day when you forget he used to knock some people out too.
Oh yeah.
He had that toughness. You elbow him, he would because it was only a $50 fine, and punch someone in the face. And so he had that toughness, and he just had that. The one thing about Dream though is we talk about how hard guys plays, like how hard Giannis plays, how hard Brunson plays, how hard these guys. Dream played hard each and every night, and people would talk about who's the greatest center, who's this, who's that. Dream to me is always going to be top 3 centers.
Wow.
Because if he needed to shoot threes, he could have shot threes. He didn't, because he had us out there, and you couldn't stop him in the paint any damn way. So he's just going to kill you that way. So he was just, he was just a hard worker, but more importantly, great guy, because he taught me about the business of basketball. He was like, I remember one time at a Christmas party, he took me outside and said, listen, you're going to be on this team now. Let's talk about, things outside of basketball. What you're doing with your money. How's the family? Are you investing? Do you have the right people? He was just a good guy. A lot of guys now, they won't come to you and be like, yo, man, you need to check your finance. You need to do this. They can like, fuck it. I learned it on my own. You on your own. And so that's one of the things I loved about Dream. He taught me about the business of basketball.
So you leave Houston and you go to you didn't go right to the.
You ain't got to go there, man.
No, you have.
You ain't got to talk about the funds, man.
You had a little pit stop set in Phoenix. You had a cup of coffee at the airport. He got right back on the plane and went to L.A. So you get to L.A. Shaq and Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
What you like? Damn, got Shaq, got Kobe. What y'all need me to do?
Yeah, it's weird. When I got there, man, I was looking at the team. We had Nick Van Exel at the point. We had Eddie Jones at the 2. I said, okay, I can play the 3. Back then I was a 3-man. And I said, we got a young guy like this. Everybody's like, oh, you got to see his rookie, Kobe Bryant. I'm like, who? And then you get to the practice, you see how good this dude is. Okay, he's learning. And then you got Shaq. You say, okay, Shaq just got beaten 95 in the finals, and you got all this talent. I said, oh, man, we about to do some work. I said, we're going to do some work for some years because everybody's young. Everybody's under 30. But sometimes it goes to show you, too many cooks in the kitchen when it comes to basketball ain't good. You got to have some guys that are glue guys, some screw guys, some bolts, and do the things to keep the team together. And you think about, we had 4 All-Stars.
Yeah. And
then we got swept by a damn team that's been together for 30 years.
Utah, that was Kobe's. That was Kobe's rookie year, wasn't it?
That was Kobe's rookie year. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then in the 99, we got beat by the Spurs, lost the last game in the Forum to the Spurs. And then that was when we got new coaches, and we said we got rid of Nick, we got rid of Eddie, and we brought in defensive-minded people. We brought in Ron Harper, we brought in B. Shaw, we brought in Rick Fox. We did all these things. We brought in AC Green, and it was that glue.
Was Ho Grant there then, or Ho Grant only came for the last one?
No, Ho Grant was on the second championship in 2000, 2001. Right. Yeah, so and it was just weird, man. And it goes to show you, when you got too much talent,
it's hard to blend.
It can get in the way, but when you got enough talent and you got guys who are mature, and you can tell Kobe and Shaq to shut up and sit your ass down and do what you're supposed to do, and they're gonna you think about it. We used to tell Kobe, no, dude, you ain't doing that tonight. Or Shaq, you ain't doing that. And they will listen to us because we are veteran guys. Now you got this going on, guys respect us. We had a lot of respect for one another, and it was no animosity. And people always ask me about the Kobe Shaq thing. I was like, man, I must have been fucking blinded, because they never had beef in front of us. It was all in the papers, man, and that was the weirdest thing when people would talk about it. I'm like, they in the locker room laughing and joking. They the first people to hug after a championship. I know you tell me, Unc, you won a championship. Who's the first person you hugged after you won a championship? Probably your favorite player on the team.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I was like mesmerized. They would say, oh, they beefing. I'm like, when? Where? So it was just weird to me.
How good was Shaq? You look at Shaq, and I tell people, I don't think people realize how athletic Shaq was. When Shaq got to the league, like Shaq first 5 or 6 years, when Shaq was like 7'1", 325, and can move like a deer, we're never going to see that again. Mm-hmm. You're never going to see a guy his size with that kind of agility. You're just not. Now, you might have like a Jokic got the footwork, and Joel Embiid got footwork, but I'm talking about just raw athleticism and power.
And dominance.
You're never going to see a Shaquille O'Neal again. Never.
Yeah, never. You think about, if you always talk, if you start a team, if I could take the 2000 the 1999-2000 Shaq, the MVP Shaq, and have him that Shaq and put him on. That's my first person, not Jordan, not Dream, not Kareem. That's the first person I'm picking to start my life. I can get that Shaq because he was just so dominant. He was just so strong, so athletic. You think about this. This guy can bring the ball down, cross you, spin, take off from outside the paint, then monkey dunk on your ass, and then you could do, you go back and look at a lot of tape, and I've heard this out of refs' mouths. So I'm sitting there. You can hear all you hear on him, and he's not getting the call. They're like, oh, he's too big. He should be able to handle it. I'm like, dude, it's a freaking foul. He's slapping the shit out of you. I said, all right, y'all gonna piss him off, and then I'm gonna get out of the way because he's gonna start elbowing people. And you can tell when he got frustrated because he'll do that spin, put that elbow up.
When he comes like this here.
And he don't care who he hit. I'm like, so yeah, he was like I said, if you got one player, one moment, I'm taking 1999, 2000 Shaq, and I'm starting the team with that guy. If I can get that guy each and every night.
Okay, Kobe. Kobe is a 17. He gets there at 17. Now, by the time they start to win championships, he's the Kobe. He's become what he became, and you get to see it on full display. He can still elevate over the top. He got the midi. He could bop. Oh, he had the package. And if you need him to sit in the chair for 40 minutes and take the opposing team's point, 2, 3, I got it.
Yeah.
He wanted that challenge. And I know you think LeBron is the greatest of all time, and people talk about MJ being the greatest of all time. I want you to think when you watch Kobe Bryant, he did every freaking thing like MJ. And he probably took it to another level because Kobe, when Kobe first came in the league, we used to laugh and joke like, you can't shoot threes. He didn't shoot threes like MJ, but we would like joke with him. So that dude would be in the gym every morning at 5 o'clock shooting number threes. And now he could shoot threes. And it's things like that why he was great. You could tell him he was not good at something. He would prove you wrong by going and working on it and adding to his game. This dude, God rest his soul, was the hardest working dude I ever seen in my life. And you think about where he went from his rookie year, where he just played he didn't have no structure to his game, to understanding that, I got to tone this down. I don't know if it's because he talked to MJ, he talked to Phil or whatnot, but when he got Phil, it made him more structured than I've ever seen before. So the dude was just phenomenal, man. So I hate when we talk about the GOAT and we never bring him up, because it's like, to me, the GOATs are MJ, Kobe, LeBron, and Kareem. Those are the GOATs. And why do we have to put 1, 2, 1, 3, and 4? Those 4 guys right there. Why can't just 4 GOATs? That's the Mount Rushmore right there.
Why didn't playing on that team alongside Shaq and Kobe, why didn't they win more individual MVPs? Kobe didn't win one until late like 2000. I think 2009 to 2010 he won the MVP. Why didn't they win? Why didn't Shaq win more MVPs? Why didn't Kobe win MVPs? Did they cancel each other out?
I don't think they cancel each other out. I just think if you look at the league back then, it was hard to win back-to-backs unless you was a white guy, meaning Steve Nash. And so, you think about that second Steve Nash.
Shaq should have won that in Miami for real, though.
Yeah. So it's so many things you can look at. It's just weird. You think about MJ when he was in the league. He didn't win it every year. It's always someone different. And you think about this year, even though Jokic is having the best freaking best year of his career, he ain't gonna win. They're gonna probably give it to Shea. And it's just how they do it. And I don't know why, but I think Kobe should have probably won at least 3. Shaq should have won at least. Shaq should have won at least 2. I think I say the year he won it, he should have won it, and then the following year he should have won it. Other than that, I think because you think about our third championship, he wasn't as dominant as he was. He was still effective. He just didn't bring that. You think about it, he wasn't the Shaq before that. And that's what they based it off. They always say, okay, we're going to take your last year. What did you do better than that year? And I think it was just consistent. He never went up a little bit to another level.
Tim Duncan, Tim Duncan had one of the great games. He had a damn near quadruple double. He was 2 blocks away from a quadruple double in an NBA Finals game when he played the Nets. That year, I think he had 21 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, and 8 blocks.
Yeah. That was the Nets, man. The Nets. That was the Nets. We had just swept the Nets the year before that, or whatever it was. The Nets was like, poor Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson, that crew. You were a beast in the East, but when it came to playing the teams in the West, you were just like the Lakers and the Clippers. You're just a little brother. So it was. They made it a good challenge, but you go back and look at the East back then. East was terrible, man. They were god awful. And so, but Tim Duncan, though, that goes to show you when he wants to take over, he can take over, man. And the one thing I like about Tim, when it comes to blocking shots, he didn't care if you dunked on him. He's like, shit, I don't care. I don't have social media. I don't care what you say. People in San Antonio are going to still bow down to me. And, most guys will shy away from trying to, go up against a Vince Carter, think you might get dunked on. They're like, nah, I ain't challenging that. Tim didn't give a shit. He would try to challenge you anyway to block it because he knew 9 times out of 10 he was going to block it and it's going to start a fast break.
All right, your Mount Rushmore teammates. You get 4 teammates on Mount Rushmore. Who you going with?
Dream, Shaq, Kobe, Clyde.
Damn, you took Clyde over Timmy.
You know what? This is the one thing. I love Timmy. But I'm going with Clyde. Clyde's my boy, man. Sometimes personal feelings get in the way sometimes. Hey, I'm doing the Steve Kerr right now. I'm putting, but people don't, I think people forget how good Clyde was, man.
The point, he took a kind of a backseat role when he got to Houston, but Portland Clyde, I remember, I remember when he was dunking on everybody at Five Slammer Jammer at the University of Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Clyde used to elevate.
Yeah. And the other reason I put Tim in there is because I remember, I'm watching the Hall of Fame ceremony and I watched Rudy T get inducted. And then when Rudy T gave me a shout out for the Hall of Fame and they panned through the crowd and Tim didn't clap. So that's why he ain't on my Rushmore.
Hey,
because I started calling and said, motherfucker, I saved your ass in 2005. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
You better get your ass up and clap. Missing that damn layup, now I had to take over.
Spurs got some cap space. They got a night. Yeah. Hey, they got Stephon Castle, who's Rookie of the Year. Wemby was a previous Rookie of the Year. Would you make the move for Giannis? Would you try to package some pieces for Giannis?
That's the thing. You forgot about De'Aaron Fox. Yep. I think that's hard to say. I would, because you can't pass on. I think that's going to be the hottest commodity this summer. Everybody's going to want the Greek Freak because he's that type of player. I mentioned him earlier how hard he played. So it's just going to be really interesting to see where he goes if Milwaukee want to give him up. But if I'm the Spurs, we got the cap space. Why not go after him? Because he'll love it there because he got a good. One thing about the Spurs franchise is it's a good franchise. They're a very humble franchise, and you don't have to worry about a lot of outside noise. You think about in L.A. and Chicago, New York, there's a lot of outside noise. So you being in Milwaukee are used to the outside noise being at a minimum. So if you go to the Spurs, you're in the same thing. So I don't know if he wants that. I don't know if he wants be more. I can't get no more notable than he already as Greek Freak, but does he want a bigger market?